Hi everybody, this is Jim Egan, head of school, Synapse School, with a weekly update, 5 minutes, 5 insights, 5 domains, let's go. Something that I'm thinking about, number one, I'm thinking about expositions of learning for kids, particularly for ages 4 to 14, like we have here at Synapse. And if Synapse is a habitat, then our interactive lab, which when you're watching this video will already have happened. That lab really is an ecosystem, like a natural, interconnected space where curiosity flourishes. What you saw in our lab this year is extraordinary. No school has an engineering and design center as large as ours or as dynamic as ours. I had a student today from Yale who came and saw the lab with Jen, his mom, who works at admissions, and he couldn't believe it. He could not believe what he saw here versus what he sees available to students at Yale in terms of design and thinking and tinkering and building. Every student goes to the engineering design center and it's on display at our lab. But what also is on display is student learning throughout our campus. Projects, cutting edge applications of science and engineering and mathematics, brain science, new novel ways to approach learning. Certainly our changemaker, LeVar Burton, this year is infusing our lab with curiosity about literacy and language and writing. That's what we do here. This true project-based environment is about exploration in an ecosystem and a habitat. And this lab that you just saw really demonstrated learning at its finest. That's what I'm thinking about. Number two, I want to give a shout out to someone who does so much for Synapse and has done so many things and worn so many hats over the years here. And that is Isha, our director of technology and someone working deeply with me on strategic programs and partnerships. Much of it is going on behind closed doors and in out of sight. So let me explain. Yes, she's running technology, right? And any good technology director is doing things along the way to make sure the infrastructure works and they're not seen doing much, right? Because things are moving along. Also, strategy work is not something that is happening out in the classroom. It's happening in conversation with parents and partners. It's happening in co-creation form with me and board members behind the scenes, things like the annual fund, our fundraising, strategic initiatives, vetting AI models, making sure we have the right tools in place here as a school to do the things that we do, and then imagining around big ideas, having the capacity to not only implement technologies here, but also to have the ability to rise up above the tactics to think about where we need to go in 5, 10, 20, maybe even 80 years. So Isha, thanks so much for all you do here. Certainly thank you for what you do for me as the head of school. I just love working with you. You were a math teacher to my daughter. You helped out in the middle school with Stephanie, and you just have done so much here. Okay, thanks, Isha. Number three, a look ahead. I'm not going to go that far ahead. I just want to point out to people, parents in particular, and teachers, there's a staff day on Monday, and that's a no school day for kids. But when we say staff day, that's where we get together with teachers and we talk about learning and teaching in Synapse. So that's an opportunity for them, certainly this Monday, to take a deep breath after that huge lab experience on Friday, which is a huge event, right? 1,000 plus people will be there, but it gives an opportunity for teachers to think about the practice of teaching, think about their partners in the classroom and in their teams, and for us to allow for teaching and learning to be more than just the day-to-day moving kids from class to class, but what it means to be a good teacher is what we discussed. That's on Monday. Number four, a peek behind the scenes. Something else that's going on right now for most independent schools that I know of is admissions. What do I mean by that? The deliberations in choosing students and families for the following school year. We just wrapped up admissions deliberations at Synapse. We did this off-site. We actually went to my house with a small team that goes through the files, talks about every student. Dana and Jen really prepped us, certainly me, I'll speak for the I, prepared me so well for those conversations. They're deeply intentional. There's a lot of data, just a lot of stuff to go through, and they really prepared us well to get through those deliberations off-site. We take them so seriously that we do go off campus so we're not interrupted, and so we can really give our attention to every single one of those families who applied to Synapse. So that's something that's going on right now, and that's a peek behind the scenes. And number five, just because I'm head of school, I often get special things like this advanced copy of the L2 focaccia project, wheat to bread, adventures in bread making. So someone left this at my desk. It's for the LeVar Burton Interactive Lab. L2, Annie and Jen, garden teachers. Thanks so much for dropping this off. I just love the fact that I'm able to get advanced copies. One of the perks. L2 kids, awesome job. That's it. If you like the video, like it. If you want to subscribe. Have a great weekend, everybody. All right, see you next week.